Hi everyone and welcome to another video by Sim Kenny. So today's build is a little cute farmhouse build in Strangerville, and I just love the way that this has turned out. Also, I apologise for not uploading on Sunday, but I went on a little weekend break to Geneva, so I didn't manage to record the voiceover for this. So apologies for that, but I hope that you really like this build. So this build actually uses no CC. However, my CC folder is so messy, so if I try and remove it, all of my Sims end up walking around bored and naked afterwards. So I should really go ahead and sort through that at some point in my life. But there's also like 10 gig of it, and that is just gonna take me forever, so bear with that. But there is technically no CC in this. There's just CC files in the game that I don't end up using. So a little bit more about this house. It's a 3-bedroom family home. It's got 1.5 bathrooms. I did really want to fit an ensuite in, but I just couldn't work it out of where it would fit in. I do end up messing around with the floor plan a little bit, but it just was not going to work at all. Also, I really wish we could like put windows across half tiles, because I did want this to be like a 9 wide house. However, because all of the nice windows were quite large and across 2 tiles, I did have to make a whatever, 4 plus 4 plus 3 is 12? I don't know, 9? Basically, I'm not very good at maths, but it ended up being a 4 by 3 by 4 sized house. But yeah, I think it's really cool. I know you might be a little bit freaked out right now as to why I've put red roof trim on, but it does end up working. I really like the combination of color on the outside of this house. It does look a little bit weird right now, but very, very soon it will look quite cool and quite cute. And I did actually see the inspiration for the outside of this house on Pinterest, obviously. And I was like, I should build something like this in Strangerville, just because I feel like Strangerville is quite like farmy and Wild West, and I feel like this house does fit in quite well here. I didn't want to go full Victorian again. I've built a lot of Victorian houses not recorded, and I have enjoyed it, and I will probably put up a recording of a Victorian house at some point. But I did just want to do a little cutesy farmhouse with like a little bit of outside planting things, activities, and stuff like that. A little bit of greenery just to kind of fit in with the world. I do really struggle with landscaping, actually. I see some people do absolutely amazingly stunning landscaping, and I just can't do it. I try to. I feel like I just don't have the patience for good landscaping. I know my own garden is literally just got like a little patio with a sofa on it, and that's about it. Grow some plants when it's like springtime, but yeah, landscaping is not my cup of tea. Neither is terrain tool, actually. I do try and use it a little bit here just to make the ground uneven, but I struggle with the terrain tool a lot as well. So in a second here, we're actually going to go into furnishing the house. I've kind of given it a little office room, a kitchen diner, and a living room. And it is quite small, but it does fit a lot in it. As you can see here, we're onto the kitchen, and I've actually never used those counters before, mainly because the main swatch of them is like a dark wood, and I was never really liked them that much until I heard someone talk about them and mention there's a green swatch in there. And I do quite like a green kitchen, so I was like, I'll give this a try. So I had a look at the swatch, and I was like, that's an actually amazing swatch. It looks so good. I just feel like it works quite well in this kitchen. I did want the house to be a little bit dated, but not too dated. Just kind of like farmhousey, homely vibe. That was what I was kind of going for. However, the downside to using these green counters is that it took me for absolute ever to try and find a table that kind of fit into it, and I do then later on struggle with the wallpaper paint. So basically, I think we just need more green things in The Sims. I feel like I never use green, and I do actually like the color green. I feel like it works really well in interiors. So yeah, more green stuff please, at some point would be great. So we're moving on to the living room here, and I really like the color scheme that the living room has ended up having. So I kind of pulled out these pets sofas in this blue swatch, and I think they look really, really cute. I do actually end up getting rid of this high back sofa. I do like it, but I feel like it wasn't quite working in this house. So I've just got the 3-seater and 2 armchairs. I've got a little farmhouse style table under the TV, and I did pull out this blush rug, which I don't think I've really used before, but I feel like the color scheme in this living room actually ended up working really, really well, because it's like light blue, blush pink, but I feel like a lot of the time that can look a little bit too modern, too sort of millennial in a way, but I feel like it's worked in this house quite well with those sofas, because it does make it look a little bit dated in a good way, in a sort of cozy way. So yeah, I like the way that turned out. So we're on to the office now, and it is quite small, but I just wanted somewhere to fit in a computer desk and a couple of bookcases. I don't think I ended up adding a computer in, but you could always go in and add that in yourself if you wanted to. So a second ago, sorry, I was going to talk about this lamp, but I was on about this study. So the lamp that I used in the living room, literally never used it before, never looked at it before, but I think it's so, so cute. You'll see it later on in the screenshots. It's the one that came with vampire stuff, and I don't think I've literally ever used anything out of that pack, and I've used so much of it in this build. But I feel like I never really check other color swatches for certain things, and I really should, because I end up finding some really, really nice stuff to use in this house. However, we've just done the bathroom, we're now onto the bedroom, and can we just have a little bit of a talk about the size of end tables that you get next to beds? Because I feel like they're just not that realistic. I feel like end tables are never that big, and I feel like they're absolutely massive in The Sims, and they make the room just look a little bit like too, I don't really know what the word for it is, not cluttered, but I feel like they're just too big for normal rooms. I feel like they look a little bit silly. So I feel like we should have smaller end tables. Personally, I think that's why I like a lot of CC stuff, because it does come in more sort of reasonable sizes and more real world sizes, rather than having massive end tables that are literally half the width of a bed, because I feel like that's just not quite realistic. However, rant over. I do go on and rant about something else a little bit later, because there was another thing that really, really annoyed me. But we'll get to it when we get to it. So yeah, still on the master bedroom. Just kind of trying to find the right painting to go above the bed, because I feel like leaving the space above the bed empty does look a little bit weird. And I'm not really used to using Maxis paintings. So it was a little bit hard to try and find something that would fit in this house. I ended up going through a lot of different paintings, hence why I kind of place them all over the house all at once, because I'll see one, I'll be like, oh, that could work in this room, or a different one that could work in a different room. Also, I feel like with landings, I never know what to put on them, because that is quite a big landing, and I don't want to have it a small landing. However, I don't know what to put on landings. So I ended up putting a little sofa in, a bookshelf, and a chess table. Kind of trying to think of my own landing, and I literally have nothing on it other than like a little dog toy box. But I've also got very, very small landings, so there's not a lot that you could actually fit on there. However, my parents did used to have a little chest of drawers on their landing, bookshelf, a sofa, a lot of plants, so I think it's quite normal to have things on landings, and I feel like otherwise they just look a little bit bare. So we're now decorating one of the children's rooms. So the children that I kind of thought would live here would be a child boy and a toddler girl. So obviously I've gone for the stereotypical blue room for the boy and the pink room for the girl. I know, super creative, but it worked, and I kind of basically pulled out that mirror a while ago, and I was like, yep, this is gonna be a boys' room. I didn't think I really had much of an idea of what this family was going to be like before I started decorating the house, but it just kind of all came together, and I'm quite looking forward to actually getting a family in this house and maybe playing around with them. I think their storyline could be quite interesting, as I'm thinking one of the parents could possibly be in the military, still obsessing over Strangerville, even though I'm pretty sure everyone is over it right now, and the mother could possibly be a gardener, maybe, I don't know. Also, never use curtains normally, and I've decided to actually use curtains in this build. However, what is up with curtains? Like, why can't we have curtains that adjust to wall heights? Because I hate having curtains that don't reach the floor and curtains that clip into things. So if we could just have some like curtains that went all the way down to the floor, yep, that would be great. I feel like I'm not really asking for that much in this video, but I think because I don't build with non-CC stuff, these like little things that I noticed, I'm like, this is so annoying. I wish I just had the CC for different sizes of things. But I do end up adding curtains in to add to this like sort of like homely look of this build. So yeah, that is probably a first on my channel. Don't normally bother with curtains, really probably should. I think it's because I don't have curtains in my own house, because I also struggle to find curtains for my own house. So I think we've only really got curtains in the bedroom, and that's about it. And they're not even curtains, they're blinds. Just because I feel like curtains do take away a lot of light, and I like a lot of light. Anywho, I should probably stop rambling about my own house and talk more about this build. So we're decorating the outside area here now, and I just wanted to put a little picnic bench out here with a grill thing, just a grill, and some little chairs that I could imagine the parents sitting on at the end of the day, sort of like having a little catch up about their day, watching the sunset, because the sunsets in this world are absolutely stunning. So I just wanted to give him a little space to do that, and I did also add some planter boxes in, thinking that they would probably be into gardening, seeing as there's like a farm style house. I feel like I always leave the floors to last. Don't know if anyone else does that, but wallpaper and flooring normally comes last, because a lot of that gets decided on depending what furniture I put in and what colours I use and stuff like that. Plus, I don't know, I think I just struggle to wallpaper things because I just like white walls. I don't feel like white walls can look a little bit boring in The Sims. I did have a little bit of an issue trying to find the right wallpaper for this kitchen, because we do not have a lot of green wallpapers, as I found out. So there is that one that has leaves on it that came in the free update, which I have used a lot, but I do love it. I do actually end up putting it into this build later on, mainly because I couldn't really find a different wallpaper, and I did want to have that wallpaper that has that like siding stuff on it. I don't really know what it's called, but where it has like wood going halfway up. You don't see it that much anymore, but I feel like it is making a comeback, and it's probably more popular in American houses, especially farmhouses. So I decided to use that wallpaper mostly throughout this build in just kind of different colors. Yeah, so I do now go in and change this wallpaper in the kitchen, and I am quite happy with the way it's turned out. And now for the finale of trying to find lights to now work with this build. Again, I struggle a lot with lighting. I feel like all of the Max's lights are just really, really dull. And I feel like we don't have a lot of variation of lights, good lights, bright lights. So that's always a little bit of a struggle. But I do end up putting some like quite dated looking lights in this build, which probably does work quite well. So I've kind of got those circular lamps, and then I kind of go for the square equivalent of that in the office. So yeah, we are now done with this build. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you enjoy the screenshots, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, bye.